Many of us love to relax in the forest, breathing in the fresh air, listening to the singing of birds and the rustling of leaves. And all these sounds have a relaxing effect on our nervous system. However, there are also forests that make even the most experienced travelers give up their plans to explore them. They are shrouded in fogs, creepy legends, and terrifying myths. One of these places is the infamous Black Forest. What is this mysterious place? How does it attract scientists from all over the world, and what kind of secrets lie in its depths? What terrible things happened in this place? And why is the Black Forest considered one of the most dangerous places in Europe? This video will answer all these questions. Mysterious origins of the Black Forest. The mystical Black Forest is located in southwestern Germany, near the French and Swiss borders. Its area is more than 2,000 square kilometers, and it consists of dense coniferous forests and picturesque hills. For many centuries, dense forests have been hiding their secrets from prying eyes. There are very few people who know what really lies in the heart of the Black Forest. But even despite this, every year there are those who want to see it with their own eyes. There is a legend that the Black Forest was formed many years ago as a result of a strong earthquake. As a result, the earth shook so much that the sea waves retreated, and the dry land was covered with dense forest. People have long noticed that there are very few animals in the Black Forest. You can wander for hours along forest paths without even seeing a single squirrel or rabbit. This suggests that the Black Forest is uninhabited, cursed. Cursed Black Forest. It is believed that the curse was imposed by the devil himself. Long ago, the inhabitants of the Black Forest cut down trees in the forest to build their homes. They did it so diligently and so rapidly that soon a large forest was completely destroyed. When the devil learned about it, he got angry and ordered that the land be covered with a thick and dark forest again, turning it into an impassable swamp. That's how the Black Forest appeared, which is still considered a cursed place. However, scientists claim that the history of the Black Forest began about 12 million years ago. Back then, ancient bogs formed in this area, which were composed of peat and sand. At the same time, oak, beech, and spruce trees grew here. Over time, they died off, and their remains formed a fertile layer of soil, turning the area into a perfect place for growing plants and raising livestock. Mysterious symbols. Many centuries ago, the Black Forest was considered the dwelling of mythical creatures, sorcerers, and other evil spirits. It was believed that it was here that witches came from neighboring villages for their covens, and that's what the symbols of the devil, pentagrams and inverted crosses left on the trees, are connected with. The local population claims that in reality they have nothing to do with Satanism, but only with the fact that people who put them forgot their way home and made such marks so they could find their way back to the village. However, there is another explanation. It is associated with the mysterious ritualistic killings that took place in the Black Forest in 1970. At that time, the police found a girl mutilated with a knife. She was lying next to the pentagrams that were carved on the trees. Similar crimes continued throughout the region, but the maniac was never caught. Sometime later, similar killings were committed in neighboring countries, but investigators believe that they were committed by a sect of Satanists, dangerous tracks. To get to the Black Forest is quite simple. Every year, hundreds of tourists from all over the world come here to take pictures of beautiful landscapes and enjoy the fresh air. However, getting out of the Black Forest is already a big problem. People who went to explore the forest sometimes disappear without a trace. No one knows exactly how many people become victims of the Black Forest because no one goes there anymore. The last such victim was the famous German film director Werner Herzog, once he went to the forest for filming and never returned. The rest of the team later told the police that Herzog had disappeared somewhere near the Triberg waterfall. However, despite numerous searches, the director was never found. Later, the police discovered an abandoned car belonging to Herzog on the edge of the forest. Since then, rumors have spread among the locals that anyone who hears the sound of a waterfall should turn back immediately, otherwise they risk sharing the fate of the director. After all, the Black Forest is a place where there are no return paths. Black Forest cannibal. Not only unexplainable things happen in the Black Forest, but also terrible crimes that shock the entire civilized world. So, for example, the police officers who operated in the Black Forest in 2001 had to investigate the murder of 5 young people. The bodies of the guys were found in the forest near the city of Freiburg, and each of them had signs of violence. Moreover, forensic experts later found traces of cannibalism. It turned out that the body of one of the guys was eaten by the killer, and the rest intended to do the same with the others. Fortunately, the police quickly detained the killer, but the investigation did not reveal the motive of the crime. There was no connection between the killer and the victims, and the man himself did not give any intelligible answers. According to the prosecution, the man acted under the influence of satanic passions. However, the defense insisted that the guy was simply jealous of the victims, believing that one of them was his wife. Nevertheless, the court sentenced him to life in prison. Bearman. Not far from the town of Titisee, there is a lake of the same name, surrounded by dense forest. One day, a fisherman who often fished in these parts saw a strange creature. First, he thought it was a bear, but then he realized that it was some kind of hybrid of a bear and a man. The monster was tall and wide, with sharp claws and teeth. The fisherman was horrified when he saw the creature's face. It had a muzzle like a dog, but at the same time it looked intelligent. The fisherman tried to free the animal from the noose that was holding it, but when he touched it, he felt excruciating pain. Then the fisherman ran away, and when he turned back, he saw how the beast fell into the water and disappeared. Since then, eyewitnesses claim that they see a mysterious creature near the lake from time to time, but it always disappears before they can get closer to it. Some believe that this is the legendary man-bear who lives in the Black Forest. Mystical hut. If you decide to take a walk around the Black Forest, you might stumble upon an abandoned hut that looks like an ordinary wooden house. However, as soon as the sun sets, it turns into a creepy dwelling of ghosts. Local legends say that at night the hut becomes the center of the devil's Sabbath. Screams, laughter, and singing coming from inside indicate that something terrible is happening there. Some people claim that the building used to be a house where a family lived. One day they disappeared without a trace, and now the spirits of the family members are forever trapped within the walls of their home. Beware of fog. The scariest thing in the Black Forest is the fog that creeps in unexpectedly and envelops travelers. No matter how hard you try, you won't be able to get rid of it. Even if you break through the fog, it will reappear again, and you will be forced to return to your starting point. Some tourists try to use this to their advantage and hold on to the trees to move in the right direction. Others simply sit on the ground until the fog clears. In any case, no one dares to walk further. After all, it's the fog that hides from prying eyes the greatest secrets of the Black Forest. Ancient city. German archaeologists recently discovered the ruins of an ancient city in the Black Forest. The settlement existed from the 8th century BC until the 5th century AD. The researchers believe that the city may have belonged to the Alemanni tribe. Their weapons and clothing were discovered near the excavations. Archaeologists suggest that the city may have been destroyed during the invasion of the Alemanni by the Romans. The invaders plundered the city, killed its inhabitants, and burned it to the ground. The settlement was forgotten for many centuries until archaeologists accidentally discovered it during excavations. Speaking about the Black Forest, it is impossible not to mention the terrible tales and legends that are associated with it. There are many of them, and all of them warn travelers against going deep into the forest, promising that those who dare to do so will never return. We hope that now you have formed an opinion about this place and whether you would like to go there. Share your thoughts in the comments.